Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to calculate your CRS score for Canada Express Entry system. Okay, to do that you need to go onto Google and type in calculate CRS score, press enter, and you want to go and click onto the first link, which is www.cic.gc.ca. Click on the first link and this is how something will open in front of you, and this is how it should look. This is a Canadian government website, so make sure that you are on a correct page, otherwise you might not get a perfect result or the perfect score calculation. Great. So this page will ask you a set of questions to find out what your CRS score is, and try to answer them as correctly as you can, otherwise you might not get a favorable result. Okay, so let's begin. First one, what is your marital status? Annulled marriage. Annulled marriage is something that a court or a government does not approve your marriage to be as a legal marriage. So it is something that you haven't registered. You think you are in a marriage, but it is not accepted by a law or legal society. Common law is something which is called a live-in relationship, is considered a common law marriage. Next is divorced or separated, and legally separated is something that marriages still exist, but a court has asked the couple, the husband and wife, not to live together. So the marriage is still there, but they are not living together. That is considered a legally separated. Then it is married, which is quite straightforward, or never married, and widowed. So choose the best, that one that describes it the best. So here I will choose married because I'm married. Okay, great. Next one, is your spouse or common law partner a citizen or permanent resident of Canada? If he or she is, you just go select yes. In my case it's no, so I'll select no. Next one, will your spouse or common law partner come with you to Canada? Well, my partner, she is already in Canada, so I will select no. If your partner is going to accompany you, which is basically considered a dependent, then you select yes. If no, if it's just you, select no. Okay, great. So how old are you? Select the best. What age is you right now? Say 25, then just select 25. If you are calculating your score for future, say you are already in Canada on a student visa, you say your study will finish in next 2 years, and you want to calculate how much will the score be, then you need to select 28 or whatever you think your age will be. Okay, so right now I'm 25, let's keep it 25. Great. What is your level of education? Enter the highest level of education for which you earned a Canadian degree, a diploma, or even you haven't studied in Canada but you already have got it assessed by a authorized body, which is WES or IQAS, etc. There are, I think, 4 or 5 authorities who can assess your degree and find out the equivalency of your degree compared to Canada. So I have studied masters in accounting from Australia, but I have already assessed it with ECA from WES. So, and they have approved it as a master's level in Canada as well. So I will go scroll down and I will select masters. That's me. Okay, now if you have completed a secondary diploma, then you select that. So this is 1 year program at University College Trade Technical School. This is 2 years. These two are basically diploma courses. So if you have done something before bachelor's, you have a diploma degree, which is 1 or 2 years. This is basically undergraduate degree. Okay. Next comes the bachelor's, which is quite straightforward, bachelor's degree. Then 2 or more, which is postgraduate. Now this between bachelor's and master's is a postgraduate degree. So if you have anything that is after bachelor's, you need to select this option. If you have a PhD, you can select a PhD. In my case, I have a master's, which is assessed by WES, approved by WES as a master's in Canada equivalency, so I will select master's. Great. That brings us to our next question. Have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? No. If you have studied in Canada, please select yes. If no, then just keep it no. Okay. Official languages. Canada's official languages are English and French. Now this is asking you whether have you done your IELTS or CELPIP. I think that's the test that is approved by Canadian government. So if you have either IELTS or CELPIP, then you can select in either of those. Now the test result must be 2 years or younger, so it cannot be older than 2 years. Okay, so if your test results are more than 2 years old, then that is not valid. You need to have a result which is under 2 years validity. Great. So I have done my IELTS last year, so it is still valid. And so I'll select here IELTS. Well, there you go. So this is CELPIP. I'm not sure what G means, but I think that's CELPIP general. IELTS TEF Canada, TCF Canada. So I'll just go IELTS. Now this will ask you for your individual score, module scores. So in speaking I have 7.5, listening I've got 8, writing I've got 7, and reading I got 7, writing I got 6.5. Great. So yeah, I just missed out on a half band to score that perfect 8777, but I think that's fine. That's not a problem. Okay, do you have any other language results? It's asking me if I have any TEF or TCF, which I don't, so I'll just say not applicable. Great. Work experience. Now this is a very important factor. Make sure you answer very correctly and listen and read your question properly. Okay, in last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? So if you've never been to Canada, that will be none or less than a year. If you are already working in Canada, now if you are working in Canada part-time, then it doesn't qualify. So if you worked in Canada part-time for 1 year, it doesn't qualify as 1 year. It needs to be a full-time. Okay, it must be, there you go, it must have been paid and full-time. So the part-time is not equivalent. So if you have worked for 2 years part-time, then I think you can go for 1 year, but that is dicey. So just keep it straight. If it's full-time and paid for 1 year, good, select 1 year. If it's more than 1 year, then 2 or 3. Select whatever fits you best. In my case, I've never been to Canada, so I'll just keep it straightforward, none or less than a year. Okay, next one. In last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? Now I was in Australia, as I said, and I've been to New Zealand and I worked there as well. It's about 6 or 7 years of experience I have, so I'll keep it there. 3 years or more. If it's not 3 years or more, if it's 2 or 1, if it's 10 years, then you still have to select 3. There is no other option. Okay, next one. Do you have a certificate of qualification from Canada province, territory, or federal body? Now this is something which is for tradespeople. If you have a trades qualification, that's if you not just trades, but if you have if you need a license or a particular certificate that allows you, say for example a doctor, then you need to be registered with the medical authority in Canada and you have to acquire a certificate before you start practicing. So make sure that you have what you need here. Otherwise, if you don't, just select no. If you have, yes. If you have a certificate, if you have applied it and you've successfully acquired a certificate, just select yes. In my case, I don't, so I'll just keep it now. Okay. Now these are for the additional points. So see if you can score as much as you can. Do you have a valid job offer? Now, if you've never been to Canada, you applied for a job via Indeed or LinkedIn or any other platforms, and you have scored one job offer from an employer in Canada, then it has to be, make sure it has to be a full-time. It has to be in a skill type, which is O, A or B. That's your national occupation classification, your NOC. That's what they call it, NOC. So it has to be either O, A or B. If it's a C or D, it doesn't qualify. So only if O, A or B. Alright. Now if your role or your position needs a LMIA, LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment, then you need to get one. If you don't have it, you don't qualify. Okay, so only if you have a LMIA job offer, then you can say yes or just no if you don't have it. It's a job offer isn't valid if your employer is an embassy, high commission, or consulate in Canada. So if you are working in one of these regions of a particular country, then you don't qualify. Okay, so in my case, I don't have a job offer. I'll just keep it no. Now, do you have a PNP? Have you applied in past for any provincial nomination? And you've scored one, say, for Saskatchewan or Alberta or British Columbia or so on, and you have a PNP, then you say yes. This will give you a very good amount of points. I think it's 600 if I say yes. But in my case, I don't, so I'll just keep it no. Okay, great. Number 10. Do you have your spouse or common law partner, if they will come with you in Canada, have at least one brother or sister living in Canada who is a citizen or permanent resident? Now, this has to be a blood relation. So, yeah, cousins, they don't count. Now, the brother or sister needs to be at least 18 years of age or older, related to you or your partner by blood. So either you or your partner, siblings, has to be a real brother or real sister. Okay, you can. The adoption is still valid if they have been legally adopted and you have the paperwork. You can submit it to the immigration, or you need to have a common parent for you or your partner. Okay, so in my case, I don't have anyone in Canada, so I'll just keep it no. So here it says here blood biological, which is your real brother or sister, either it's adopted or by marriage, step brother or step sister. Although your parents might have separated and they married somebody else, and that partner would have either a kid, which could be your step brother or sister. So that is still valid. Correct. In my case, I don't have any, so I'll just keep it no. Now, this is the button you press, and that will give you your results. So here I got age 110, education, everything's 364, your spouse is nothing, skill transferability, everything, and you scroll down to the bottom, it says 414. That's my CR score. This is your score. So now I think the last draw for express entry, I don't know when was the last draw happened for express entry, maybe last year, FSW. So it was around 460. So this is where you need to score more. Now, if you do have a partner and you want to bring it to Canada, you say yes. Now, if your partner is in Canada, okay, well, yeah, I'll tell you my scenario. My partner, she is on student visa and she is currently studying in Canada. Now, what I'm thinking is I will go there on a dependent visa and probably apply for residency as me as the first applicant. So if that's the case, then you need to say yes on your file, on your application, on your CRS calculator. Okay, why? Because she will be the dependent for my PR application. Okay, so in that case, she will come with me to Canada. Yes, because she is a dependent. Because I will be applying together. Okay, if it's just me, then I will say no. But she will be. I will include her in my PR application. So I will say yes. Now this changes a bit. Okay, so make sure that you go down to here. That's where you will need to feed in the details for your partner. Great. Number 11. What is the highest level of education for which your spouse or common law partner has? Well, she has bachelor's and now she's studying 2 years diploma. So that will be postgraduate diploma. So I will choose this one. Above master's, below bachelor's. Great. That's it. And in last 10 years, how many years of skill work experience in Canada does your spouse or partner has? That has to be in Canada. Part-time doesn't count. Oh, no, it does. Full-time or equivalent amount of part-time. There you go. So either it's a 2-year part-time, that will be considered as 1 year full-time. Okay, so she is, oh, she's just been 6 months. Well, I'll just say none. None or less than a year. Let's keep it plain and simple. Great. Now, did your spouse or common law partner take a language test? She did when she went for her study visa. So I will say IELTS. Her speaking was 7. Listening was 8, and reading she scored 6.5, and writing was 6. Great. So now Before it was 414. It was just me as my application. Now if I include my partner, feed in those details, that will go 413. Doesn't make much of a difference. But let's say I want to predict what happens after I go. This is basically if you want to apply from outside the Canada. Okay, now let's say a scenario where you are already in Canada and you want to apply after 3 years, and you want to know what would your situation be. So after 3 years I will be 28, so you have to change because 1 year reduces by 5 points. So if I calculate now, it will, it didn't. It's weird. Oh yes, that's because there is a slab. I think up to 30 years there is no deduction, but if I say after 5 years I want to apply for my residency, then I will lose some bit of my points of 10. There you go. So I lost 10 points for the age. Anyways, but if I want to predict after 5 years, where will I stand with the CRS score? Well, there will be many factors kicking in by that time. Immigration might change a whole lot of system, but just for a scenario, okay, let's say if it's I'm 31 and yes, I will be in Canada, so I will have work experience. Let's say I have 3 years of work experience and 3 or more last. Yeah, that's fine. Now, do you have a certificate? No, I don't need one. Do you have a valid job offer? Of course, because I will be working. Yes, let's just say I have a job in a knock B level. I'll just say that. Do you have a nomination? Everything else remains the same, and I'll calculate my score. Boom, 559. You see, so my points just got jumped up by how much? 156 points. This is what experience does. So it is very important that you get first-hand working experience in Canada. That counts a lot. So if you have, even if I have 1 year, that will change it to 538. You see, so even working, so now you're eligible for CEC, Canadian Experience Class, if your score is 538. I think the last CEC draw was around 470. So yeah, that's what experience does, and I hope I have answered all of your questions. If you still have any, if I still missed any question, then please mention that in your comment section and I'll try to answer them. Okay, thank you guys, take care.